Eagles were looking to upgrade its safety. They talked to several teams about acquiring, I would say maybe a mid-level, a little bit of a lower level safety. Of course, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was really the name that they wanted. It sounded like the whole time it just had to be done, I would say, discreetly. The Philadelphia Eagles land a bona fide starter, a new safety, and a big-time playmaker in Philly.
So I know what you might be thinking. Mike, you cut your hair. And the main reason I actually did cut my hair is because I got so many freaking comments about me not looking anything like my avatar picture in my intro theme that I finally decided to cut my hair. Jokes aside, if you were following me on Twitter, you know that there was some stuff going on with me. I don't want to take up this whole video addressing that. If you're interested in that, it's on Twitter. Personally, I am okay. I've never felt better. I am so excited to get back to working with you guys. Just a minor treatment, decided to shave my head. It's a dawn of a new era for us, ladies and gentlemen. So I missed out on a ton of news this past week. It was actually driving me freaking crazy how much news I missed out on. I mean, from Matt Ariza to Brian Robinson, and yesterday when Laviska Shenault got traded to the Carolina Panthers, all the way to Jimmy Garoppolo restructuring his contract to be the #1 highest paid backup in the NFL. But I figured we need to start with fresh news because, well, fresh news is the best. Because it seems like the Philadelphia Eagles are getting better and better, and I don't even know how they keep pulling this stuff off. So make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. If you want shorter versions of this content, make sure you follow me on TikTok and Instagram. TikTok's at Mikerophone NFL, and Instagram is at The Flight Mike. And now that we got all that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? If you have watched my videos long enough, every time I open up a video about a division rival, I will always tell you how I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan and I still envy this team for the decisions they're making. A couple of years ago, we were absolutely demolishing the Philadelphia Eagles for the situation they were in. I mean, they were in a situation where they were choosing between Carson Wentz and Doug Peterson, and ultimately, it seemed like they decided to move on from both of them. It was a situation where you gave up so much draft capital to select Carson Wentz with the #2 overall pick, and then just shortly after a few injuries and just a really bad season, punted on him and decided to opt for Jalen Hurts. It was a situation where Philadelphia Eagles fans were constantly frustrated at Howie Roseman missing on wide receiver after wide receiver after wide receiver, whether that's JJ Arcega-Whiteside, who was recently traded this past offseason, over DK Metcalf, or the fact that Jalen Reagor was selected literally over Justin Jefferson, and as a result, the Minnesota Vikings front office was literally laughing at them when this happened.
Jalen Reagor, wide receiver, TCU to the Eagles.
Let's go get him.
Yeah. Hey, Peg.
I'm on it.
Nice. Get Justin Jefferson on the clock right now.
I'm on it.
Wow.
All the way to the fact that the Dallas Cowboys were literally able to screw them out of CeeDee Lamb during the 2020 NFL draft. And it seemed like something changed this past offseason. I mean, one very smart move, which at the time people were memeing them for it when they decided to trade Carson Wentz to the Indianapolis Colts. One very intelligent move resulted in a series of intelligent moves, and we got to where we got to this past offseason. Now, again, Dallas Cowboys fan here, I'm going to tell you, I think the Philadelphia Eagles might have had one of the most underratedly greatest off seasons out of all teams in the NFL. Now, the reason why we're not paying as much attention to them is because this past off season was absolutely crazy. I mean, from Tom Brady retiring and unretiring, Russell Wilson getting traded from the Seattle Seahawks to the Denver Broncos, Khalil Mack getting traded to the Los Angeles Chargers, Tyreek Hill getting traded to the Miami Dolphins, Devontae Adams getting traded to the Las Vegas Raiders. I could just go on and on and on. As a result, moves like the ones that the Philadelphia Eagles have made, except for the one that they made on draft day, which was a huge splash, which is trading for AJ Brown, have kind of snuck underneath the radar. And it seems like today, at the very least, I'm gonna just make a stand here because it's time that we pay attention to the greatness of Howie Roseman over this past offseason. Now, for all you know, this could all blow up in his face. For all you know, it could not work out. But you have to admit, these were very competent decisions to rebuild this Philadelphia Eagles team. In my video on players that are on their last chance, I mentioned how Jalen Hurts has a pretty pretty freaking good team this year. And if he isn't able to deliver, then who knows what his future is going to look like. I personally think they're going to let him at least play out the remainder of his rookie contract, and he's going to surprise some people. But let's take a look at the Philadelphia Eagles additions this offseason. So besides the AJ Brown trade, Mike, what else did the Philadelphia Eagles do? Well, in addition to today's blockbuster trade, the Philadelphia Eagles were able to add Hassan Reddick, James Bradbury, Kaiser White. They were able to draft Jordan Davis in the first round of the 2022 NFL draft, which, yes, I know there's some videos of him getting demolished in practice or whatever. I don't really pay much mind to that. And selecting Nakobe Dean in the third round, which I personally had a first round grade on. And that brings us all the way to today's blockbuster trade, which I don't even know if you could call it a blockbuster, but in my mind, it was just one of those trades that adds to a cornerback room that features James Bradbury in big play slay, and that is the acquisition of pretty much the Patrick Beverly of the NFL, and that is Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. So this morning, we woke up to a bunch of news in regards to Howie Roseman doing whatever it takes to try to trade Jalen Reagor by the 4 p.m. Eastern deadline, and knowing my luck, by the time this video's up, Jalen Reagor may or may not have been traded, and if he has been, then I'll make sure to get you guys a short on that. And it seems like during these trade talks, during these trade calls, there was a little bit of a side discussion that took place between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints. Later on, we found out that the Philadelphia Eagles actually went out and released their starting safety, Anthony Harris. And usually when something like that happens, it kind of raises an eyebrow. Why on earth would they release Anthony Harris? Well, a few moments later, we found out that the Philadelphia Eagles are trading for none other than Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. So according to Ian Rappaport, the New Orleans Saints are trading defensive back Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to the Philadelphia Eagles, sources tell me and Tom Pelissaro. After extension talks broke down, the focus shifted from keeping Gardner-Johnson to trading him. Philly lands a starter. So if you don't know who Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is, man, he is pretty much the biggest troll cornerback in the entire NFL. You can look at montage clips of funny moments between him trying to get into the heads of other NFL players. There's this one famous clip of him trying to go up to Tom Brady and talk mess to Tom Brady's face. He's like that type of player, literally the Patrick Beverly of the NFL. And the trade compensation that they had to give up in return isn't that hefty at all. So here's the full trade terms. The Philadelphia Eagles receive safety Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and the Saints 7th round pick in 2025. The Saints received the Eagles 5th round pick in 2023, or the worst of their 2 6th round picks in 2024. The New Orleans Saints couldn't agree to a contract between Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and themselves. As a result, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson ends up getting traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. So you might be wondering, how does he feel about all this? Well, we already have an update from him on Twitter, and according to him, he woke up this morning and just tweeted out, "Good morning," and then just a few hours later, tweeted out, "Fly Eagles fly." I mean, this is a no-brainer type of move if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, man. This is such a sneaky good addition to an already promising defense. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles were able to retain their core defensive pieces. They were able to add on in the draft. It seems like most of their investments were sound investments throughout the entire offseason. They went ahead and got Jalen Hurts, a brand new wide receiver 1 in AJ Brown. He already has a very solid wide receiver 2 in Devontae Smith. So this team could without a doubt challenge, if not become the favorite to win the NFC East. And I don't think that's a bold statement at all whatsoever. We know how the NFC East is always a crapshoot, and in this instance, man, I'm not gonna lie, as a Cowboys fan, I'm pretty scared of the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about all this, man. How do you feel about this trade? Personally, I give the Eagles an A. I give the Saints, I guess, a C- because, I mean, at least you got something for him. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.